SVP partners and staff. We've got thought leaders here from influential organisations who I know you're going to meet and talk with over the course of the next couple of days. All of us here working for social change. And we have the good fortune to be here in a kind of an extraordinary time out, a moment when we get to converse and convene and think and learn and laugh and tell stories together away from our everyday lives. For the next 2 days, it is not business as usual. This is our chance to make good on our conviction that together we can make a difference. And this is the time to establish the connections, start the conversations, make the imaginative leaps that will bear fruit down the track. So it's no news to many of you that in recent years we've been developing a culture of storytelling here at Social Venture Partners. And our goal is sharing the experience of SVP and the power of the network through personal stories rather than via a deluge of facts and figures. So I'm all for it, or I was until Elizabeth Benedict, our communications director, challenged me to think about my own story and share it with you today. And I shied away. I wasn't even sure that I knew what my story was. But you know how the brain works. First one phrase then another kept coming into my head and I couldn't get them out. And the first was true believers. I associated with a personal hero of mine, Ben Chifley, who was Prime Minister of Australia from 1945 to 1951, a blacksmith's son, himself an engine driver before he entered Parliament. Now's not the time to list Ben Chifley's accomplishments, although they're many, and nor retrace my own fraught relationship with the Australian Labor Party, Ben Chifley's party, which I joined and began working for soon after I left university. I think I'm up to having joined and left the ALP 3 times now, and doubtless I'll do it a couple more times before I die. But Ben Chifley was a true believer, and so am I. True believers in the light on the hill. And that's the second phrase I couldn't get out of my head. So it came from a speech that Ben Chifley made in 1949. He said, and I want you, when I say the words Labour movement, I want you to think SVP movement. He said, I try to think of the Labour movement not as putting an extra sixpence in somebody's pocket or making somebody Prime Minister or Premier, but as a movement bringing something better to the people, better standards of living, greater happiness to the mass of the people. We have a great objective, the light on the hill, which we aim to reach by working for the betterment of mankind, not only here, but anywhere we may give a helping hand. If it were not for that, the Labour movement would not be worth fighting for. So the path that led me to Social Venture Partners has had plenty of twists and turns, but it was the light on the hill that brought me here. That's my story, but I think it's your story too. Before me, I see hundreds of members of the Social Venture Partners movement, people who, like me, are true believers and who share that great objective, the light on the hill. There's nothing more audacious than Social Venture Partners, and there's nothing more worth working for. If anybody can make transformative, lasting impact, it's the people in this room. So let's get started.